Hi, I'm Chip McAllister. I'm 64 years old, and Jesus is my dude. I've been happily married for 38 years, and I have 3 wonderful adult children. Guess what? I started cooking. My wifey now can't contain herself. Laker Nation, baby. My new love is cryptocurrency. Any tips? Okay, back in 1984, a group leader washed my feet in front of 50 people. I'll never forget that. I hadn't officially become a Christian. However, I just felt that I knew that Jesus had his feet washed, and it was just a very, very humbling experience that I'll never forget. I was in this empowerment seminar entitled LifeSpring, and for you to understand it, I guess I'll simply say it's pretty much like a military boot camp where they break you down and they build you up, because at that time I was trying to find myself, and this was a week-long program. And one of the exercises that really rang out to me was when I had to spend 3 hours, and everybody else got theirs like within a half an hour, some people within 2 hours, but I was the last person because I kept on spewing out these words because it was the 3 words that define Chip McAllister. And I would, shout out these words, and the leaders of this group, they were unbending, unrelenting when they would say, that was full of crap. No, they would use curse words, but I'm not going to use the curse word. They would tell you full of whatever, and they would say you're blanky blank, and they would just tell you, you're not trying hard enough. You're settling. But man, when I finally came up with the help of the group, my 3 words changed my life. The first word, and these 3 words are words that I cannot have harmony in my life unless they exist. That's one. And the other is, if they don't exist, things aren't right for me. So the first word that defines Chip McAllister that I realized a long time ago is honesty. Honesty means the world to me, and it goes both ways. I have to be honest. And I have to receive honesty from people. In dealing with my clients, of course, we know homes are selling for 10, 20, 30% over asking price. And they say, Chip, do you think I should just go for it, man? I am so proud of myself that on more than one occasion, I've said, no, man, I don't. I really don't. And it's weird. I didn't know that it would have this effect on me, but it even feels good now for me to just choose to treat people like I would treat my kids or my parents, as opposed to just making a sale. So for Chip McAllister, honesty is paramount. The second word that I have to have and I can't do without, respect. If I am disrespected, it gets handled right then and there. I'm not saying I'm going to beat up people who disrespect me or whatever, but the situation can't continue. It just can't. Disrespect, because it brings out the worst in me. But on the other hand, when I am disrespectful to someone, I can't deal with that. That messes me up. I am one person who has apologized on so many occasions because I'm not perfect. Living by my standards of being respectful. If I disrespect somebody, I'm letting them know that I apologize. It's up to them to either accept the apology or not, but can't be disrespectful. The more I respect, or the more I'm respected, that's the better my situation, and vice versa. I have to be respected, give respect, and the environment has to be respectful. Now, of course, I can't run the world and I can't have everything happening exactly the way I want it. But for me, when I'm around, it's going to be respect given. Now, my final word. Now, this was the word. I got honesty, I got respect, but my final word, and this one rings true for Chip McAllister: freedom. Man, I have to be free. My whole life have to be free. And people around me have to be free. Everything, people cannot be restrained. I cannot be restrained. A turning point in my life was I was working at the County of Los Angeles in around 1994, 95. And I just went to work there because I wanted to get my college degree after so many years. And I knew that I can get pretty much a cush job at the county. But after I was there for 2 or 3 years and I finally did graduate from college, I still remained a county employee. And we would even talk about things like, man, people on the outside, they making the real money. Man, those people make real money on the outside. And it would be like we were incarcerated. And I hated it, but I knew that all I had to do was just merely exist, and then I get seniority, I get my pension, I get to retire. But then came a movie, Shawshank Redemption. And any of you who have ever seen that movie, you know about Andy Dufresne. And Andy Dufresne was a free man in prison. He was free while in prison because that's just the mindset he had. That was the first and only, even to this day, movie I've ever gone to by myself. I'm that kind of guy that I either take Kim with me or my kids or friends. I've never been to a movie by myself except for Shawshank Redemption. I sat at that movie theater for about a half an hour afterwards, crying like a baby, because I realized that I too was institutionalized like the other people in the movie with Andy Dufresne. Like Red, he was institutionalized. It's like they couldn't operate on the outside because they were used to being controlled by the prison guards, the wardens. After that cry in the movie theater, a month later, I quit my county job. And I remember the numbers. I was making $35,000 a year at the county. I quit my job, went to work for Texaco, and I was making $72,000 a year. And that changed everything. And then that was a little freedom, but then there was a consultant there. And now I'm going to say his name because I love this guy to this day. His name is Walter Arp. He was a consultant working for me, an employee at Texaco, and he was making more money than me. And he could come in when he wanted to and this and that. So I saw being a consultant, that freedom, even though we work way more hours because now I'm an entrepreneur, you know, but we work way more hours, but I'm free to be creative as I want to be. As a realtor, I work the hours that serve my clients best, but pretty much it's not a regimen. Throughout the years, I kind of got away from my 3 defining words: honesty, respect, freedom. However, when this pandemic hit and all of this racial tension is running rampant, the political tension running rampant, hatred all over the place, guess what I did? I realized that me looking at television, looking at the news channels, knowing everything about all of the policies and politics, that was incarcerating my spirit, I gave that up. I don't look at that stuff anymore. I was kind of ashamed at first. Does that make me uneducated? Because I don't know what Nancy Pelosi is doing. I don't know what Newsom is doing. I don't know what Trump is doing now. Nah, man, doesn't bother me at all. I'm happy about it, but that's just me. Remember, everything I'm saying is just for me. These are my defining words. So here's where I land the plane. Here's what I want to say to you. I want you to join this new league. It's not the NFL, but it's the FFL. What I want you to do is take everything I've said and realize that it's all based on loving yourself, loving others, and loving a great situation, which turns out to have total happiness being implanted in your life. And the FFL is fight for love. Everything you do, every decision you make, fight for love. But I'm not going to leave you there. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you've gone this far in this video, what I want you to do is, and don't just write down the first thing that you think about, really contemplate, really do some soul searching. And what I'd like for you to do is write down your 3 defining words. Words that you can't do without and words that you must have. Write yours down. And here's another thing I'll do. If you want to private message me, we can even discuss these words if you'd like to do that. But once you come up with your 3 defining words, why don't you put them down here in the comments? And that'll help some other people. I promise, if you stick to your 3 words that you soul search and you contemplate and you come up with, you will be much, much happier, if not ultimately happy. Thanks for listening.